Hello and welcome back to Life Lessons with Sheila, and welcome back to Ask Me Anything Part 2. You can show your support by subscribing and clicking that notification bell, as well as liking and sharing this video if you find it interesting. Let's hop into it. There were only 2 of you brave enough, or shall I say curious enough, to ask me anything, and trust me, I appreciate it. This video, though, I feel is getting too wordy. It may be broken down into 2 parts, but I'm going to try to get them all answered in this one. Thank you again for putting yourself out there and asking me these questions. They always leave me thinking. So the question I'm answering today is from heilaKing. How did you learn to set up and organize your YouTube channel, plus the process of writing and publishing books? Also, where do you get your content from? Great question. First is, how did I learn to set up and organize my YouTube channel? First, the question of how did I learn to set up and organize my YouTube channel? I simply took the best parts of the channels I enjoyed watching and implemented their strategy onto my channel. I am more of a visual learner, not auditory, so I like to be shown what to do rather than just being told. I remember my mama getting so frustrated at me for not following directions that she told me to do, but she didn't realize that everyone learns differently. Just like when it came to writing papers, I would always wait until the Sunday before it was due and hold myself up in my room and write out my paper. Why? I don't know. That's just how I work best. I tend to work under pressure with deadlines than I do having loads of free time or time in between projects. Even when I was working at the accounting office, I worked best when we had a hefty project that had a deadline rather than a simple project that I could spend weeks on. I loved doing payroll audits, but it was when we had to have 50 copies of a year-end report typed, configured, printed out, and bound all within just a few days that really got my juices going, so to speak. That is why when I was sharing my writing of the Christmas book, I shared my progress. I thought if I didn't show it, I didn't accomplish anything. Once you are done with the project, you're done. The process is over. And for me, the creation journey is complete. Going back to the question, how did I learn to set up and organize my YouTube channel? I'm guessing you mean maybe how I organize myself to get videos daily, maybe on their designated day. I've always liked many things, and for so long I have shared so many random topics on my channel that if I didn't designate certain days for certain topics, it would all seem so willy-nilly. I do like order to my chaos. So I create Motivational Monday mindset videos. I used to do Tasty Tuesdays. It would be a day where I would designate a recipe video, but since my illness, I don't do a lot of cooking lately. One of my sons has taken over the kitchen and has since found purpose in preparing meals for us. I do hope to be able to return to my love of cooking very soon, though. You guys will know because I'm sure I will share that on my channel. Wednesdays I like to reserve for writing when I'm involved in a writing project, which I just started a new one a couple weeks ago, so we will see how that goes in sharing. So I like to designate a topic each day of the week and kind of make it rhyme or start with the day of the week. Quirky, I know, but we're talking about me here. As far as the community tab, I post random topics there and always will. Why? Because I can. I like to share more than just my faith-based side, my humor, things I'm learning about in life, just random things. For a while, when I got back into posting videos again after losing my husband and my partial recovery, I began sharing music playlists. Why? Because music heals. It heals hurts, heals wounds, it heals souls. Then I began implementing various mindset videos, mainly focusing on words. I couldn't find my heart in my channel anymore, so I went back to what I knew best, my words. They do control our moods, and we can change our moods quickly with our words and vice versa. Then I began to feel my groove again and started sharing devotionals. Why? Because my faith has never wavered. It might have gotten weak as so much was coming at me so strongly at one time in my life that I had to just put my head down and focus. Kind of like when you're outside and a big gust of wind comes. You just put your head down and go straight into it. I did that for my own protection, my own peace, and my own sense of direction. I needed to figure out who I was. And I realized I'm a mighty powerful woman in the name of God. Under His protection and through His grace, my life can help others in one way or another. I don't know if that answered your question, but you can let me know in the comments below. The second question was, where do you get your content from? The bulk of my content is from my own brain. It comes from conversations that I have with people, things I observe, things that inspire me. I have occasionally been inspired by someone's video or social media post and mirrored that, but with my own twist tossed in. Rarely do I go to AI for inspiration, unless it's to outline a video so it flows better. Obviously not today's. But typically it is all my own content. I have always had a gift of the gab, as my mama used to say, but I have learned through the years how to articulate my thoughts both in writing and in speaking. Now the community tab posts, they come from random places. Some are my own, some are others that have inspired me at one time or another. I personally like to go back into my history for that day on Facebook and pull out posts that touched me in that moment. Often when I share something, it's not something I personally am going through at the moment, as one might speculate, but maybe something that I had gone through years ago, or just felt moved to share because someone out there needs to know they're not alone. How did I learn to set up and organize how I write and publish books? You can learn a lot here on YouTube and various other sites, but mostly it's all trial and error. As far as the setting up and organizing is concerned, I will have to go into a more in-depth video on that, and I will very soon. Amazon offers a KDP program where you can self-publish your books, and they can either be paperback, hardback, or Kindle. In that, they also offer various templates that you can download and use to write your book in the proper format. Formatting, though, takes some knowledge in Word, and again, a lot of trial and error. Then, once your book is written, you must go and figure out what program you will use to create your cover, or use their cover design program. I have used their cover design a few times, but I love creating the thing cover to cover, so to speak. Publishing through Amazon is free once you order your author proof of your book, which averages to be about $5 or so, depending on the binding, number of pages, etc. I highly recommend doing that before you set it to publish, because you will be surprised up at the mess ups that you could avoid if you go through that step. As far as the writing process goes, I just say, write. Organize your story. Organizing your story is a really important part of writing a complete book, but I know many who like to pants their way through their book. I mean, once you get to writing, it is nothing for your characters to do something that you're not expecting of them to do, and that in itself makes writing that much more fun. It is the process of writing that I enjoy, and I'm often sad when it comes to the end of the book. There are many books out there with different writing theories, but you just have to go with what works for you. I will leave a few recommendations in the description box of ones that I glean from time to time. I also enjoy watching AuthorTube videos on writing, taking into consideration that once again, every author has to create their own method that works for them. Use them as a simple guide and you can't go wrong, unless you just don't write when you feel called to. The one thing I encourage all who want to be writers is to just start writing. Get the story out on paper, even if it's a really rough draft. And by rough, I mean rough. Then, once you get it outlined, configured, and like you think you want it, go through it very thoroughly and read it again. Get a few beta readers to read your draft, preferably your next to final draft, so they are getting a complete story. Or you can even ask people to read one chapter and evaluate it. I always say, don't expect to get a perfect story out. Just get the story out of your head, or content for that matter. Do it while you are excited about it, because if you don't, then you will miss out and you will likely forget the storyline you had in your head. I use note cards, notebooks, sticky notes all the time in the writing process, jotting down ideas as the story progresses, things I don't want to forget, things I want to add in, or even ideas that pop up for future storylines. I will add a few videos that I created to reference, as well as when it comes to the writing process, in the description box below, as well as a few that I used when I began my writing journey. Now, the videos I have on my channel are all for fictional related books. I need to do an updated version for writing nonfiction, as well as my current project, which is a 6-week Bible study. And with that, I hope I answered your questions. If not, and you desire more clarification, then please do not hesitate to reach out to me via email or in the comments below, and I will elaborate more. If any of you have any questions that you would like to ask me and have me answer, then feel free to do so. Leave them in the comments and I will get to them as soon as I can. Thanks for asking me these. They were fun to react to and to answer, and I hope I did answer them clearly enough. Again, if not, just let me know. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.